Right. Oh, even it does that. Why does it do that? So I typed the link in that it's just given me, and it says that the content's not available yet, which of course it is because I've just started it. But anyway, um, there we go. It says we're live. Okay, brilliant. Just try and find that. Just waiting for the I don't know if the YouTube bit happened or not. Yes, it did. Let's just see if that's true. So I typed the link in that it's just given me, and it says that the content's not available yet. Which is brilliant. Okay. So please, comment here. Okay, so we're going to start in 2 seconds. Okay, now it's woken up. Okay, so now I presume if I could go that link, it might work. Anyway, so we're kind of off, and that one says it's live. So I don't know if I'm even going to put it to the top. But anyway, so please come in here. Okay, that's it. I'm going to assume everything. The other weird thing about YouTube is it's it says the show is one length, and then it only ever displays a couple of minutes shorter. I can never seem to get the end of it, so I don't quite know if you're catching the end of the show or not. So I'm going to probably leave it on running for a little bit longer after, just to see if YouTube can behave itself, because that'd be nice. It'd be nice if you caught the very end, because the very end might be important. Might not be, but it might be. Anyway, I think it says we're recording. I've got to record it yesterday, and of course, YouTube counting the end up doesn't help. Anyway, enough of all that crap. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello and good welcome. Good welcome. Anyway, yeah, why not? A good welcome, not better than a bad welcome. Out to the real you, show number 18. Show number 18. It's like every day we do another show. It's incredible. Every weekday at 9 p.m. UK anyway. So tonight's a mixed bag. I didn't know what I was going to do. Yesterday we did a really good show about how to get more stuff done, basically, and how much I hate to-do lists, and how that's not the answer, and how to actually motivate yourself every day, get out of bed, wanting to do something, how to do that. Basically by creating, different events on different days of your life. Anyway, you have to watch yesterday's show with that. I can't repeat it, otherwise we'd never be doing a show forward, would we? We'd always be summarising the day before. So, as I say, today's a little bit, unplanned, as always. It's always unplanned. But a couple of things happened. So one, somebody sent me an email or something, which said, basically, are you spending your life looking for approval? Am I spending my life looking for approval? And that got me to thinking, and kind of thought that maybe I was, but maybe I am. And of course, then I started to think, what that actually means, and what I want to do about that, or whatever. And then the second thing came of doing some sort of business course or something, and we're talking about validation. Bing. And that's kind of in a similar vein. So that's kind of what steered me down this thing, coupled with yesterday's thing of the fact that I hadn't done what I believe that I want to do for 2 days now. This will be the third day now that I haven't done what I want to do. And yesterday was about partly how to overcome that by making sure that it was an event that I wanted to do, and making each day different, and and going with the flow, and all that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, bottom line, third day running, haven't done what I believe I want to do. And actually it is kind of related to this, looking for approval. Because whatever you do, whether it's just wanting to communicate with somebody, or tell somebody how you feel, or being interested in how somebody else feels, or whether you're creative and you want to do something, or you want to live a full life and be not just content but be fulfilled. And so you look at the explorer in you. Okay. Let me put that there, I guess. Not sure what I'm going to do with these. Anyway, I don't know what the title of this is. But so as I say, whatever we're doing, if it's just communicating, wanting to show you exist, any kind of acknowledgement, or whether you're creative and you're trying to produce something, or even what you do for your for your team sport, or your hobby, or your peers in that hobby, or whatever it is. We're basically looking, primarily, first of all, to not be invisible. Okay, so we can do stuff for ourselves, and we can make that fulfilling to an extent if we're very strong. If we're very strong, and sometimes it's hard to keep that strength, and we'll talk about that strength in a minute. But in an ideal world, in an easy world, we wouldn't be invisible. And then most people, even though they may not be capable as such, I don't mean to be condescending in that sense, but they want to make a difference. But can any of us really make a difference? And certainly, we can't make a difference if we're alone. Right? Maybe we can leave things, in legacy, and and remotely, and not in person and stuff. In terms of materials, and that could include digital stuff as well. But if you write a book, for instance, okay, then the book exists. Okay, it could be that the book ceases to exist at some point fairly easily, but in theory, you write a book and you live forever. Okay, could go wrong, but in theory, that's probably why it's important to send a copy to the Library of Congress or whatever it is, because at least then they have a copy that they keep safe. But anyway, I digress. But basically, if you write a book or a song or a poem, to some extent a meme, to some extent, a post on your own social wall, if you leave a legacy account holder to forgotten that word anyway, but to look after your content when you're dead, assuming that the platform even lasts that long, which again might not. So all these legacy things are very fleeting. I don't want to get depressed about that, but but it's hard to make a difference in the world, alone. So we're kind of saying, other people matter, which is for me, as a recluse, is a damning admission, basically. But anyway, other people matter, and I'm going to put a caveat in that. That has to be the right people, because there are a lot of wrong people in the world. As I said before, there's 80% of the people who who just won't like us on principle. But there's the 20% that who want us to help them, who want to help us. So it's our 20%. So when I say other people matter, I mean the other right people matter. Our 20%. Okay. But without them, it's hard to be motivated to do anything, because basically, putting it bluntly, no one else will know. They won't know what your great thought, or how you were feeling, or whatever, or how you wanted them to feel, if they don't know. So this is a big problem, and particularly if we're living in isolation at the moment with the social distancing thing, um, we're not even seeing, other living souls almost, or we're seeing the same ones, more than maybe we even want to. Okay, because obviously there's two sides, to this. Other people matter, but sometimes we want to be alone. Um, and so and that's it's fair. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing weird about that. And we just have to try and work that out as best as we can. But the bottom line is this thing. Other people matter. So when we try and do something, when we want, when we have something in mind, I was going to do a new. So let's do that. There we are. So when we have something in mind, and it could be anything. So it could be, self development, or it could be, tidying up or decorating, or making a meal or something. In an ideal world, it's for somebody else, and somebody else will experience it and enjoy it, and give us, feedback on it. Um, yeah. Or it could be, learning a language, or learning to do photography. But again, why would you just take photographs if you're the only person who's going to see them? So again, we always want this kind of, validation, and and that beginning phrase, we're always looking, for approval, because that's the thing that kind of says to us, what you're doing, matters. Somebody else will notice, and somebody else will appreciate it, and will appreciate you, and you're making a difference. Okay, that classic cliche line. And if there isn't anybody, or if the only reactions you get are negative, because you're talking to the wrong people, you're talking to 80% who will never care, then it gets very hard to be, to keep the strength, to keep going, doing that. And, yesterday we touched on that, and I guess, it's very easy to say, what do you want to do? This is your time to do whatever you want to do. But you just might not know. You might not have ever worked that out. Nobody's ever told you it, and nobody's ever taught us, this sort of stuff. What do you mean? What do I want to do? I live day to day. I exist. What more do you want? And so it's a difficult question. I'm not going to go into religion and stuff, but obviously some people find solace in there being something bigger than themselves. Okay, so what are you doing? Who are you doing it for? Well, I'm doing it for this this invisible force that's bigger than ourselves. And that could be God, or it could be universal energy, or it could be nature, or whatever. You think it is. Okay. And that's if you've got that, that's great. I'm not knocking that. I'm not saying that's not true. Whatever you believe is true. I don't believe, so that's my truth. So I've got another void there, in that there isn't anything bigger than me, in a sense. And I don't mean that arrogantly, and I don't actually kind of mean that. But I don't think that there's an entity necessarily that's bigger than me. But I think my purpose is to put stuff out there. Okay, and that in itself is bigger than me. So it's not that I know of anything or anyone or any entity that I'm doing it for, but I believe it's the right thing to do, because it's what I can leave, or it's what I can do, or it's what I can put out into the world. Okay, so I believe my purpose, I guess, if you want to put it like that, is to put stuff out into the world. Okay, which basically, in my eyes, is basically, I could write it. Hang on, there we go. To leave the world a better place than when I found it. I know that sounds twee, but it's kind of, it's a good ethic, I think. And that's my mission, that's my purpose. And as I say, I don't think I'm doing that for anybody or anything. It's just a thing in itself. But I guess that is bigger than me. But it isn't I can't name it because it isn't a thing or a person or anything like that. But that's still my mission. So it is bigger than me and it is my mission. But as I say, it's just not anything I can define. But that's still the point. But again, when I do that, when I try and do that, if I do it into a void, then I have exactly the same problems as everybody else. Probably more so. Okay. And it's basically living in a void. Okay? And if you don't get that feedback, if you don't get that appreciation, if you don't, if it's like you're invisible, then whatever you do seems irrelevant. Okay, and I guess to some extent, that's my fear of doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I can only talk about in my case, unless you want to leave comments below the video. So there's basically this huge void. Okay, and just doing stuff into a void, talking to a void, not getting any acknowledgement, feedback, not making a difference. So that is, let me just do this over here. Ultimately it is a fear because it's driven by fear. I'm afraid, there's no point skirting, around that. That's what, this emotion is. It's fear. And so, and what I want to do, what I believe I want to do, what I believe my mission is, whatever, is, in my particular case, to make music. But I'm frightened to do that because if I do it into a void, I don't know why I'm doing it, and I'm not getting any gratification back as to that I'm doing the right thing. I don't know if I'm making a difference or not. I don't know if anybody will ever hear it. And that's fine. I've no right to expect that they would. But the point is it doesn't motivate me to do it. So, this is what I believe I should do. And this is the big void that, that we face if we don't have any encouragement. And then so there's this big fear, that gets in the way of doing that. And it's very hard to keep your motivation, to do that. Okay. And the only way that I've managed to do it in the past, and that I'm trying to get, back again, and, we can kind of, cute it up and call it our mojo and, whatever, I need to get my mojo back, all that kind of thing. And it's kind of true, but it just sounds a bit twee, but, that's kind of what it is. And that's really just to go back to, your purpose. Okay. And as I say, it's very hard, to remember your purpose, in light of this void. Okay. And that's kind of the issue. But if you can remember your purpose, then that can get you through the fear, because you know that you're doing the right thing, what you believe is the right thing. It may not be working out as you expect right now. Right now isn't the way to judge stuff. Okay, which I think is another important thing. Very important thing, actually, because we don't know what we don't know. And I know I keep saying that, and it's probably annoying, but we really don't. So, the fact that I'm not getting any feedback or results, today, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be doing it. Okay, that just means that I don't know whether I should be doing it yet. But if I don't do it and I'm wrong and I should have been doing it, then all I've achieved is nothing, because I've not done it. Does that make sense? I know it's getting a bit a war of my own words here, but hopefully that kind of makes sense. So, as I say, the way I've thought through it before is to remember my purpose. What becomes hard is the right now, because, especially when things seem bleak, it's very hard to keep going and to get past that fear. But as I say, right now, if there's a takeaway from this, which I hope there will be, is, right now isn't the way to judge this. I think I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. I was right, I sneezed. There we go. Anyway, better out than in. Give my lungs a smaller chance to keep breathing. So, right now, is not the way to judge this, because we're basically building up catalog's not the right way to, to really describe this, I don't think. But, we're, what's that phrase he uses? Well, he calls it, a bank of goodwill, which I don't think is necessarily quite appropriate here. But so I'm just going to sound hippie, and I'm not going to apologise for that. So it's a bank of good energy, okay, and so we're just doing the best we can to basically fill up this bank of good energy, because doing it means that it exists, and then hopefully we'll get that out there. So I guess it's important to, I think it's important basically that everyone should journal what they do, and a journal's a bit different from a diary. In that a diary is kind of, just what happened, and maybe how you feel and stuff like that. But the journal of what you're doing and how you're feeling is specifically. It's specifically about you and, what your hopes and wishes and desires are. And it's a little bit different from a diary because, maybe it isn't, but, in my eyes, it's a little bit different to a diary, because a diary is really, what happened, and really the journal, could also include what you want to happen. Okay, and I think that's the big difference. So so it's more like Leonardo da Vinci's. I don't know if he called it a journal or not, but anyway, it was his ideas. So he hadn't done them, and he hadn't seen them, and he hadn't made them or sold them or anything. But they were ideas. So he journaled those so that he could go back to them. So even he could go back to them and work on them when he needed. When he had the opportunity or whatever to do them. But as it turned out, he didn't manage to do all of his. Excuse me. He didn't manage to do all of his ideas So his journal actually became kind of like a design, um, a designer plans book, so that other people could go on and build them or be inspired by them, or and at least know that he thought of it and how he'd approached it, and then they go on and develop their own ideas from that. So he inspired other people from journaling his own ideas, and I'm sure sometimes he managed to go back into his own journal and and it would help him move forward. But if he was anything like me, I'm sure he was much greater than me. I have more ideas than I can possibly manage ever in a lifetime, even in 10 lifetimes, to be honest. So, so I'm basically one big walking journal who never does anything. Well, it's not fair. I do some of the things, but I can't possibly. It's not physically possible for me to do all of the things that I think about. Okay, so all I can do is journal them. I can do some of them, and hopefully I'm doing the right ones and the ones that matter, first, whatever. But it's physically, and it's hard to accept, to be honest. But that you're going to die never having done half the things you thought about. But you kind of got to get over it, and keep doing something, and keep journaling the rest, because that's all you can actually get done. But it's important not to get distracted with all the negativity and getting despondent about anything else, because that will mean you get even less done, and even less journaling done. So, so there we go. So I'm not going off a tangent there, but that's kind of how I'm feeling, which is also part of what I'm doing the show. So there we go. So I think it's important we journal stuff, and as I say, I think a journal is slightly different to a diary, and that a diary is what we've done. And it may include the other stuff, but journal specifically what about what you want and how you feel, and a record of what you wanted, okay, or what you want in the future or something like that. And maybe a diary can crosses over that, but journaling in my explanation particularly means what you wanted to happen, how you feel about what happened, what you want to happen in the future. Okay, so have whatever difference of definition you like, but I'm calling it a journal. And as I say, if it gets in the journal, then there's a chance for that journal to be shared and for other people to enjoy it, whatever, even when you're dead, and even when you're alive, because you could do this journal and do it online and make it public, or share it with people who are important to you, or anything like that. So, unless we actually kind of document, write down somehow, it could be a video, it doesn't matter. It could be a picture, however you want to, make a record of, how you're feeling, what you're hoping, and what you're dreaming of. But unless we actually, journal it, even if it's in video, then it only exists in you. Okay, it only exists in you. But when we journal it, even, we're talking mystically, even the effort of you actually, physically documenting it means that it kind of exists. And also it means it gets it clear in your own head. And clarifying, what's in our own head is sometimes, well, quite often, if not always, super, super important. So, that clarification, even in your own mind, is probably really important. And so let me just put that in there while I'm doing that. So clarification and sharing. There's a possibility of sharing because at least it physically exists. And because you've explained it, it's a lot clearer in your own mind. Okay. So I think, I think those things are super important. I don't think we should underestimate, the power of those two things. But anyway, it comes about from journaling. So I guess if nothing else, we should journal, what's going on. I think, I think I'm actually gonna, make a, am I? Yeah, I think I am. I'm going to make a promise to myself to do that myself. Okay. Proactively. I mean, every day. Um, and I think I'm going to use paper personally. Um, and I think I've got a spare one to do it with, so that's good because getting stuff on Amazon at the moment is quite difficult. But I'm just going to put in a little ring bounder. Yeah, I'd like to be able to afford a big leather plush thing, but I can't, so I'm just going to use my little £3 reporter's notebook kind of thing and do that, and that will make a journey, and that can be my ideas in there, and in reality. I'm probably not going to look back through it. In reality, it's probably not going to get discovered as being a great source of genius of past times. It will probably just rot somewhere. But the point is that I'm clarifying my own mind by physically journaling it, and I think I'm going to do it. 2 times a day. I'm not going to spend very long doing this, but just at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. I'm just going to write down, what I'm hoping to do today, and then, at the end, what I did today and what I'm hoping for tomorrow. And I'm just going to do that. And I know that people have endlessly told me this, and I've always kind of ignored them. I've always thought, going to bed and making a plan so that you get up and do it, was a bit pathetic. And any time I've done it, I've never managed to do the thing that I planned to do anyway. It was, as chaotic and as unlikely to happen as me not having planned it, and planning it and then not doing it made me feel bad. But now I realize that really, it's not even about that. I think they suggest it because they think it's a way of getting it done. But in my experience, it's not a way of getting it done. But what it is a way of clarifying what it is that I wanted to do. And, maybe if I, see it, and see the act of physically doing it and reading it back and stuff, maybe I'll get the hint at some point, and maybe that will make me do what I'm supposed to do. Because if I write down for a week, got up wanting to make music, and then at the end of the day didn't make music, if I look back at that, or I've done that for a week, maybe I'll get the hint that either, I don't want to make music and I'm avoiding it, for that reason, or that maybe I should get on with it. So maybe that will be, the thing. But at least I'm putting some energy back into it and not kind of, shoveling it under the carpet or, putting it in the back of the drawer and going, must make some music, didn't, back, must make some music, didn't, and just keep going on like that, because that's not fulfilling me. Okay, that's just making me feel bad that I think I want to do something and I'm not doing it. And I believe the reason is because I'm afraid of this void. Honestly, I think I'm just afraid of this void. And the other end of this void, actually, if I'm being honest, the other alternative to the void are the haters, because there'll always be haters. So, if they're my best two options, is it that surprising I don't want to do that? So maybe it isn't. I don't think I'm being unhuman by, having that fear against these two, horrible entities. But, so all I can do is go back to my purpose and, and believe in, what I'm doing and paying into my bank of good energy and journaling it so that, I'm documenting it to myself more than anything. Although, it is to clarify in my own head, and it has the vague possibility of sharing, although I think I'll die posthumously with nobody knowing anything that I've ever done. Pretty much including this YouTube video. But at least I'm not worrying about right now, because I don't think right now, is the best gauge. Okay, because if you're climbing up a mountain, everything is against you. Every minute is against you. The weather's against you. Your own energy is against you. How far you've got to go is against you. There's nothing good in that moment other than you've, done what you've done. And, taking fulfillment in what you've done again is hard. But, ultimately at the end of right now, when right now is over, and we can look back and say, well, it took a month, but now now that right now is over, and we look back, we actually climbed the top of the mountain. Okay, but when you're up the top of when you're climbing the mountain, that's probably not the best time to review it. In some ways, I'm not saying don't envision it or don't plan it or anything like that, but I'm just saying, emotionally, maybe it's not the time to claim the reward of climbing the mountain when you're actually climbing the mountain. The reward of climbing the mountain really is at the end, because during climbing the mountain it's an effort. Okay, and in the middle of making an extreme effort, with no apparent benefit or fulfillment, nobody's there cheering you on. You don't know if you're going to make it. You don't even anyone will ever know that you tried. Etc., etc. I'm not trying to be morbid about this. Right now is not the moment to judge it. So, I think this bank of good energy, which you document in this journal, and as I say, it could be a video journal. I'm not saying you have to use pen and paper. I am, but that's fine. But I think the act of documenting it is, for us. I'm going to put me, but when I say me, I mean you. So you should you should journal because it documents it for you. Okay, that's what I mean. So there we go. So that's it. So that's all a bit kind of emotional and random, and you may not understand anything of what I just said, and maybe I don't know, maybe you shouldn't, but this is reality. So, as I say, this is my third day now of not doing what I want to do. I'm pretty, I'm saying that I'm afraid of these two things, and I think that's part of why I haven't done it. And as I say, the only way I've beat that in the past is to look back at my purpose. But the thing that's new for me, today, is this concept of right now. I've never kind of thought that that right now wasn't the best time to assess that. Okay, so that might seem blindingly obvious to you, but it's new to me. And so if you don't judge it in the moment that you're doing it, that's what I'm saying. Let me just make a thing out of that for anybody who's just skimming through random transcriptions on YouTube anonymously or something. What did I say? I think I said not judging in the moment it is happening. Something like that. I'll check back on the replay, but I can't edit the thing then. Anyway, but I think I said that. Not judging in the moment is happening. So I think that's the takeaway. It's the takeaway for me. Hopefully it has some use to you. And see what you think. So that's it. I've rambled on. As I say, I'm going to keep YouTube going. See if you can sort yourself out so that you get the end. Okay. Probably see you tomorrow. Yeah. There we go. Okay, let me stop this. As I say, the YouTube broadcast has ended, but I'm just going to keep it going, just in case it wants to work. Okay, that's it. How do I do that? I think like that. Okay.